Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of The Mark Medley Show. And as always, I cannot help you understand enough what a joy it is to be able to share with you in this format and in this platform. And it is always my hope that something that's shared here will be something that will help you think a different way, or look at things from a different perspective, or confirm something that you'd already been thinking about. My goal is to educate, to inform, and to entertain in some respects. That is the goal of the Mark Medley Show, as well as the radio show that I host, The Reading Circle with Mark Medley. And if you haven't figured out by now, you are listening to the voice of none other than Mark Medley. And today's episode is titled Pattern Interrupt. And that may seem like a strange title, and many of you may not even understand what I mean by pattern interrupt. And really what a pattern interrupt is whenever you interrupt your normal routine. I'm a very routine-oriented person. In other words, I pretty much follow the same routine every day. I wake up at about the same time every day. I do the same rituals in the morning as I get out of bed, as I head to the shower. I can actually set my watch by the times of when I hit what place in the house in the morning. Whenever I come back out of the bathroom, and when I'm preparing my clothes, and when I'm making up my bed, and when I'm preparing the coffee, when I'm eating my breakfast, and then heading out the door. It's pretty much the same routine Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, the routine changes up because I'm up even earlier to be in the studio to have my show kick off at 6 o'clock a.m. So on Saturday mornings, my alarm goes off at 4:20, and I'm up by 4:30 or 4:35. And I'm out of the house by 5:04, 5:05, 5:06. Get to the local coffee house, and I'm in the studio by 5:35 to prep to be on air by 6 o'clock. On Sunday morning, my routine changes yet again because my church service, for the most part, for me, doesn't start until 11 o'clock. So I have a little bit more time to do a little bit more things on Sunday morning, but that Sunday morning follows a routine as well. And I'm sharing my morning routines and daily routines with you to lead into what I'm talking about in terms of interrupting the pattern. Because sometimes in life we get so much into a routine that it becomes so habit and in so much of a rut that it can become mundane. We can take things for granted. We can almost not even live, not even see what's going on around us or appreciate being in the moment. Many times you'll hear people say, I just had to take a mental health day. I just had to take a break. I had to not come to work today or just not do anything today in order for me to take a mental health break. That's a pattern interrupt. On last weekend was Veterans Day weekend, and it was coupled with, in New Jersey, the teachers' convention. So we had some days off. Matter of fact, we had Thursday and Friday, and of course the weekend, Saturday and Sunday off. And my pattern interrupt for that weekend was I actually went to visit my daughter in Alexandria, Virginia. She had just moved there in September, and I had not had an opportunity to go down and spend some time with her or see her place or where she works or any of that. So I had already decided that on that particular weekend, I was going to visit her in her new home in Alexandria, Virginia. I left on that Thursday afternoon about 3 o'clock, arriving about 8 o'clock that night. And the two of us, we hung out from the time I got there on Thursday evening till the time I left on Sunday evening. And it was so refreshing to be in a different environment, to be in a different atmosphere, to be in different surroundings, to see some different things that we normally don't see. As a matter of fact, I did not get into my normal morning routine there, even though I still rose early, was still up by 7 o'clock a.m. Even though I was off, I did not get into the usual routine that I did when I was home. We went out sightseeing in the Washington, D.C. area. We went to the Arlington Cemetery. We went to the Air and Space Museums. We went out to some of my favorite restaurants. Very relaxed, wasn't on a time clock, didn't have to swipe in or swipe out, didn't have to punch in or punch out, didn't have to sign any books or sign in and sign out. Everything was at our pace. And that was refreshing because it got me away from the normal routine that I do when I'm home. So for those 3.5 days, it was something totally different. And when I came back on Sunday evening, even though I was only there for 3.5 days, it felt like I had been there for weeks. It felt like it was a longer time than it actually was because it was so refreshing to be doing something different. Now, here's also what it did. It revived me and refreshed me now to go back into my normal routine. When I went back to work on Monday, I had a different perspective. I had a different outlook. I had a different attitude and a different mood just from getting away. And in many instances, that's what vacation does for us. That's why we look so forward to going on vacation, to be able to break the pattern, to be able to interrupt the pattern. So I advise everyone out there, because a pattern interrupt does not have to be a long period of time. In all honesty, it could be a day or two. It could be an hour or two. If you're in the office and you just go outside and take a walk, that can be a pattern interrupt. If you can go out and be with nature, that could be a pattern interrupt. If you go to a park and just sit and look at the grass or the trees, or now that it's fall of the year, the colors of the trees changing, the leaves changing on the trees, just the various colors, the oranges and the greens and the yellows, that can be a pattern interrupt. Meditation is a wonderful pattern interrupt. Prayer is a wonderful pattern interrupt. And I encourage all of us, especially as we attempt to focus and to be grateful. If you really want to start being grateful and have the attitude of gratitude, pattern interrupts can help get you there. Because it can take you out of your routine and give you the opportunity to see things from a different perspective, to slow down. When you go to the park and you look at that blade of grass, or as you walk around and you see a tree, or as you walk around and you see a bush or a bird, or you hear the birds chirping, it gives you an opportunity to be grateful for what you have. I was in a funky mood this morning. Today is Sunday the 19th, and when I woke up this morning, I was in a really funky mood, and I had to go move my car. And as I went around the corner to move my car, I saw a homeless man lying in front of a house with everything he owned in a little roll cart. And he was laid out, actually he was in front of a business that had a sidewalk that was raised. And he was laid out flat on his back on that sidewalk that was raised. And this morning's temperatures were in the 30s to start with. And what came to me as I passed him was, I thought I had it bad, but I don't have it that bad. It could always be worse. Of course, it could always be better, but it could always be worse. And a lot of time, whenever we do a pattern interrupt, we get a chance to get away. We get a chance to see some different things. It gives us an opportunity, one, to be grateful that we can have the pattern interrupt, and two, to be grateful for the things that we don't have, particularly if during the pattern interrupt you have an opportunity to see somebody who is less fortunate than you are. As we go away on vacations, we travel the country, we travel the world, we travel our state. It gives you a chance to see things you may not have seen before. If you really want a pattern interrupt, because I'm a cyclist, I ride my bicycle, and when I go out, I don't come back until I've done a minimum of 20 miles. But if you want to get a different view, ride a bicycle. The same streets that you drive on looks vastly different from the perspective of a bicycle. You want a pattern interrupt? Take a walk. The same streets that you drive and ride on have a whole different look when you're walking. So I encourage all of us to get out of our routines, get out of our comfort zones, get out of what we're accustomed to and used to, and interrupt your pattern. As simple as this may seem, let's say, for example, if you're right-handed and you brush your teeth all the time with your right hand, a pattern interrupt might even be now brushing your teeth with your left hand. Or let's say again that you're right-handed and normally you write with your right hand. A pattern interrupt would be trying to write with your left hand. It's anything that forces you to change your normal habits and your normal routines. And vacations and getting away does that. Every now and again, even if you have to leave your home and go to a local hotel and stay in that for the night, don't go far. You can go to a local hotel and just stay in a hotel room. Out of your normal bedroom, out of your normal home. Go to your local hotel for the night and just stay in the hotel room. Use the hotel facilities. Use the hotel shower and the hotel bathtub. That's a pattern interrupt. And you would be amazed at what pattern interrupts do for our brain circuits. What a pattern interrupt does for our bodies. What a pattern interrupt does for our outlook. The days that I spent last week in Alexandria, Virginia were priceless. I had the opportunity to see an area that I had seen before, but had not seen through the eyes that I saw it from the last couple of days that I was there. I had the opportunity to visit family that I hadn't seen in a little while. I had the opportunity to go again to sightseeing places that even though I had seen them before, I had never seen them with my adult daughter. Had the opportunity to just get on the highway and drive, because for me, driving is relaxing. I know many would disagree with that, but for me, driving is relaxation. So just to take the 250 plus mile ride to get to the Alexandria area, to me, was a pattern interrupt. It wasn't my normal driving around town. I got a chance to get out on the highway. So at any opportunity you get, it's not something that, again, you're going to do all the time, but just interrupt your normal routine. Do something different. Go see something different. Try a different food. Try a different restaurant. Try a different route. Hang out with a different set of people or a different set of friends. Interrupt your pattern and see how refreshing that can be. Again, I thank you for listening to the Mark Medley Show. Hopefully I've given you something to think about and a challenge to go out and try. You can hear me, of course, here on the Mark Medley Show. And then, as I always share with you, on Saturday mornings, you can hear me live as I stream around the world on GoBrave.org. That's GoBrave.org. And in the northern New Jersey area, it's on FM radio, WP 88.7 FM. The podcast is on all the major podcast platforms, and I invite you to follow and subscribe, as this lets those platforms know that people are listening. And when they know that people are listening, they're more likely to keep it on their platform. Also, I'm on YouTube. You have the opportunity to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that channel is the Mark Medley channel. So again, I thank you. Please follow. Please share. Please retweet. Please post. Share it with the world.